Or marga, we call it as, or to attain the moksha. Karma yoga, the service. Not every human being like to do the same thing. Not everybody like to sit and do the chanting. Some says, okay, I see some people are poor. Okay, I have some money. I don't mind giving some money for them so that they can better off in their life. Some says, no, I don't have money, but I can spend some of my time, go and do some service to them, help them to get the thing done fast. Or I can visit some holy places or some hospitals, do a service that I can render to them. That is called karma yoga. Or a yoga means union, karma means service. Service-based kind of things we can do. So that it's also a moksha. Or you can have a pure divine love to every human being. You can have. But it's not only the human being, every single soul. So let me use the new term in Hinduism. Hinduism doesn't go with the body, but it is the soul that has to be tapped. It doesn't depend on this body. This body is anytime decomposed. Anytime it is to be vanished. But the soul which is residing in it, which we call it as Atman, which will label it in a short while. That has to be what I am. That's what I should understand. But in 99.9% or 99.01% or even just less to 100%, most of the human beings fail to understand that myself is not this body. Because the intellect, the commitment that we have, the understanding that we have. So that's why we got to undergo this process. So if you don't have the bhakti, you find it very difficult, you have all the clashes. You can also use jnana question, start questioning. Jnana yoga. So you ask for the truth, which is the truth. Like what we are doing is, one of the things of understanding, that is also jnana. So knowledge. It should be rational. Then the other one is practicing of Raja Yoga. The Raja Yoga is nothing but you practice meditations. Tapash. You can even isolate yourself for a few days, few months, depending on the way you are and what kind of profession that you are. Make sure that when you are doing one, you don't neglect the other. Your duty comes first, the purpose of your birth. So that path you can be followed. Therefore, understanding all these concepts, whatever you are supposed to attain, moksha, how you can use any one of the four paths. So depending on the intelligence or the understanding or acceptance of the so-called soul, by right soul, it can accept the God or the Brahman, as what the Hindu says. By right, it's supposed to be the monotheistic, but if the intelligence differs, never accept, no, the God has no form. God is only one, but it has no form, because God is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. But if the intelligence, as I say, 99.9% of them are not getting into that, they can also accept as henotheistic or any other form. Why? Because in Hinduism, as long as you understand well there is a God, okay, as per your understanding, you can see the God in the form, which we call it as nirguna, or without the form. So these are the two things. The moment you see the God with form, that's where you like to see like what the doctor is at that moment, because the child is dying and the mother has the love for the child. When the child has been given a second life by the doctor, so that doctor becomes the so-called God-like due respect. So that respect has a limitations over a period. So whether the soul that I'm talking about, the Atman, has understood that with form or without form. So therefore, they has to understand that very clearly. Next, they see the God in two forms, whether Dvaidam or Advaidam. Dvaidam means I am different from God, so I see two different identities in the here. The soul and the so-called creator. Or I and God has no difference, because at once I have attained the moksha, or in the process of attaining the moksha, I will be